whether or not we want to be like a Joe Rogan podcast where we're actually like we're just talking, and
that's fine.
Yeah, and then but yeah. So all right, well let's get started. I'll introduce ourselves.
All right, here we are.
You ready, Frank?
Yes, I am.
All right. So back again, I am Coach Doug's with the magnificent Frank the Tank. This is Barstool Units episode 2. Frank, are you a little upset with me?
Yeah, I don't even know if he's starting. I mean, we've been talking for 5 minutes, and what the fuck? Come on.
Well, granted, I will defend myself.
That's gold. That's gold. That's now in the ether.
Yeah. I will say this. I'll defend myself. I said 2 sentences in those 5 minutes, so it wasn't all me. But no, we're still trying to figure out. Do we want to be a podcast where we just hop on and talk? Which I'd love to do that, but at the same time, I do want to have segments, and I want to have guests. Which I do.
Eventually, we'll love to get guests.
Yeah.
Boy.
But yeah. So. All right, so just to recap what we just talked about, the Cowboys are hot garbage.
Oh, God. I tell you, Amnesty International should step in and prevent people from watching the NFC East because I think it's akin to torture to watch an NFC East game. This has got to be the worst division in the history of football, single season. We're looking at the winner of this division is probably going to be 6-10, 5-11.
Yep. And they'll have a home playoff game.
And the Giants this weekend play a Bengal team that Joe Burrow's gone. Yeah. Who's starting this week for the Bengals?
I have no idea. I don't even know who their backup would be.
I know Mike Glennon is starting this week for Jacksonville, and I was actually surprised to know that Mike Glennon was still in the league.
Yeah, that's somebody did like this wraparound kind of thing of how basically everyone was connected and how this quarterback was like taken out because this quarterback, I don't know what's going on with Minshew.
Brandon Allen is starting this week. Brandon Allen is starting for the Bengals. I mean, if the Giants don't beat the Bengals this weekend, I mean, geez, I'm sorry.
Do you expect them to?
Yeah, I fully do.
Yeah, I think that might be where you're going wrong. Having any expectations, you just can't have any expectations. I mean, I guess you can think like, yeah, they should beat them, but to expect them to, I don't. It's just a weird thing where you expect them to beat them, but if you do, it's like you're making your own bed,
I mean, this is the dumpster fire division. I know it's the dumpster fire division.
Well, it reminds me of a couple of years back. We had where the NFC West was garbage, and I think it was similar.
The Seahawks
similar
won
thing.
at 7-9. Seahawks won at 7-9.
I mean, was that and?
But it wasn't that. What isn't that as bad as this?
No, well, I don't. I mean, if you're winning the division at 7-9, all the teams in the division are garbage.
Yeah, because at the end of the year, there was the Rams and Seahawks actually played each other, and I think the Rams went in that game 7-8. The Seahawks went in the game 6-9, and they basically swept the season series or won because of a tiebreaker.
Yeah,
at 7-9. So the Rams had a shot to finish 8-8. The Cowboys are now 3-8. They can't do better than 8-8, and they're not going to win their final. They're not going to win their final 5 games.
I guess the
they're not going to win those games.
The Giants are the only team in the NFC East that can have a winning record right now, right?
So can Washington.
So can because they just beat Dallas, but Dallas can't have a winning record, and the Eagles have the tie.
Yeah, well, the Eagles can still get a winning record, but the Eagles are hot garbage right now. The Carson Wentz is terrible.
Yeah, I don't know what they were looking at when they decided to get rid of Foles. I still think Shad Khan way overpaid, or whoever made that decision to give him $80 million over 3 years. I still think they overpaid for Foles, but it's amazing that they let Foles go and kept Wentz.
Yeah, but the NFC West in 2010. It just broke that way, that it ended up being a 7-9. It wasn't where all four teams in the NFC East, if they were in another division, would be in last place.
Yeah, except for the AFC South.
Well, yeah,
But I tell you what, Houston looked good
and
today.
the Jet, and the East.
Yeah, but Houston looked good today. It was one of those things where it's like, I mean, all right,
You could make a case that the two worst teams are obviously the Jets and the Jaguars,
I would.
and
That
the next four teams that are the worst
would
are
be the
all
NFC
four
East.
teams in the NFC East.
That's a big gap. Yeah, Jets, Jaguars, entire NFC East. That's fair. That's very fair.
I mean, the Broncos are kind of competitive. Well, the Bengals now without Burrow will probably be a little bit worse than them.
Yeah, I don't expect them to do. I mean, I didn't have high. It's his first season. I didn't expect high. I didn't have high expectations.
I mean, the Lions and Falcons stink.
Yeah,
the Niners are banged up, but all four NFC East teams are worse than most of these teams in the division.
Yeah,
and then the other thing, except for the Jets and Jaguars, the four teams in the NFC East are the worst teams in football.
Yeah, like there's not really any redeeming qualities of the team. It's not like, oh, hey, if they get a quarterback, or hey, maybe if they have, it just seems to be like their whole organization is just not working out.
The Giants have shown quite a bit of improvement with Joe Judge as coach.
Yeah,
that I would say is the redeeming quality.
So you think the Giants are at least on an upward trajectory?
Yes,
that's fair. I've seen Clem running laps around his house.
Ron Rivera has done an excellent job in Washington.
With everything going on.
I talk about Brian Flores being coach of the year. I mean, he might get some. Ron Rivera might get some votes for being coach of the year.
I mean, if you're able to do all that while going through cancer treatment and all that other stuff,
cancer and I mean, you got the Cowboys are a total dumpster fire.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, the defense for half the season was just pathetic. Now, and the play calling. What are you thinking?
Well, that's
going for a 4th and 1 early in the game.
That was
deep in your own territory. That's giving 3 points to Washington. 3 points.
That wasn't even it. Well, that was so you're quite you question that, and then like a quarter, the next quarter, like 2 quarters later, you do a fake punt. It was like 4th and 10 or 4th and 15, and you do a fake punt from your own like 20 or 30 yard line,
and the game was still relatively close.
It was relative. Yeah, it's just like at that point, like when you take that, even if whether you make it or not. When you take that path and you decide to do that, you're basically saying you don't trust your defense at all.
And the turnovers, the Cowboy turnovers, Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, has there been a running back that has lost more?
You mean like so as far as like expectations from like he was supposed to be great?
Yeah. He's only had 1 game over 100 yards this week, and that was last week against the Vikings.
Yeah.
And
of course
I picked the fucking Vikings. That's why I lost that game. And
I actually text messaged Ezekiel and I was like, "Hey, Frank has the Vikings this week. If you could put up the points, it'd be great."
And what's with Mike McCarthy smashing watermelons? What the fuck does he think he is, Gallagher? Yeah. I mean, first off, has anyone ever actually thought that Gallagher is funny?
I think in the 80s. I watched one of his stand-ups and it was definitely an 80s thing, but I don't get the shtick. Because he has a whole act. He has like a stand-up act and everything. And I mean, obviously he's like a funny guy and everything, but I didn't get the shtick. He's props. He's like before Carrot Top, like he had props and everything, but I didn't really get the whole thing of smashing watermelons.
So Mike McCarthy thinks that channeling Gallagher is going to inspire the Cowboys to greatness.
Yeah, channeling a comedian, a laughingstock.
Well, that's what the Cowboys are right now. They're a laughingstock.
Yeah, I don't pay too much. I don't pay too much attention to him. I hear Trista, or I see Trista tweet about how bad McCarthy is, but I don't pay attention to him. Now I was able to watch them today. And I'm like, oh, yep, she's absolutely right.
I hate the Cowboys. I literally do. You get a lot of Cowboy Cowboy games up here in the NFC East country with the Giants, and and there's always a bunch of Cowboy fans in New Jersey. I mean, when the Jets and Giants were both garbage in the 70s, there were like a tons of fans.
Yeah.
Even, we had our governor of New Jersey
as a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, Chris Christie is an unapologetic Cowboy
Oh, that's
fan.
right. That's right. He was in the box with Jerry Jones last season.
I mean,
right?
He's unapologetically a Cowboy fan.
Yeah. That's so. It's the idea that I get Steelers. Everybody left Pittsburgh, and so I get that. Oh, my grandparent. Whoever's grandparents were Steelers fans, that all trickled down and everything. And
I mean, one of the main reasons I'm a Dolphin fan is because of Dan Marino.
Yeah,
but there are more Cowboy fans in New Jersey than there are Jets fans.
Really?
I can tell you that.
You think that's just because they were so good in the 90s and people just
the 70s, going back to the 70s, 80s, 90s.
People like winners.
Yeah, and in the 70s, the Jets and Giants were both so bad, none of them made the playoffs for the whole decade.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, so I guess that makes sense. You want to root for a winner.
There was a game, 1978 at the Meadowlands between the Giants and the Eagles. The Giants had a lead, had the ball. All they had to do was fall on the ball. They didn't do the victory. This is the game that actually gave birth to the victory formation.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. For some reason, Joe Pisarchuk, with like 20 seconds left and a lead and the ball, and the Eagles with no timeouts, decided to hand off to Larry Zonka, who wasn't expecting the ball. The ball ends up on the ground, picked up by Herm Edwards, touchdown, miracle in the Meadowlands. The next week, fans were burning their season tickets in the parking lot, and as a plane came over the Meadowlands, we have had enough.
Yeah. So that's nothing. That's nothing new this century. People have been burning sports memorabilia or sports.
I mean, that was rock bottom for the Giants. That the miracle in the Meadowlands, and it was bleak times for the Jets and Giants for a long time. And in that void, you got the big four came in. It was the Dolphins from the years when they were with Shula being undefeated. Mm-hmm. You had the Steelers with the Steel Curtain. You had the Raiders and their whole Raider attitude, the Raider Nation,
the black hole, and all that.
And of course, you had the Cowboys, America's team, and there are tons of Cowboy fans. Of course, they go into hiding when the Cowboys start losing. I mean, it's like that song. Where have all the Cowboy fans gone? The Cowboys lost again. Mike McCarthy is a buffoon. Ezekiel Elliott is getting fatter. Pretty soon, we're going to have Ezekiel Elliott on the Units podcast.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be fatter than both of us combined.
We'll have unit crop tops for him.
I mean, the crop top, it doesn't look good when you have I don't wear a crop top.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've worn it once, but Lady Gaga fans got pretty mad at me, so I don't know if I'll do that again.
I mean, what is? I mean, today's fumble. He wasn't even. He was just like falling in the ball, like.
That's what got me because, I get it. Hey, if you're a running back and you get the ball punched out, it's going to happen. That's part of the game. Like, you can hold it as tight as you want. Somebody's going to come out and they're going to punch it out.
No, but he was falling to the ground, and he was. I don't know if he was trying to stretch or something like that. That ball that just popped out of his arms.
Yeah, I don't. That's like I feel like that should be a normal motion. It should be like a bodily function, just like if I choose to move my hand. Like if you're a running back in the NFL making millions of dollars, I feel like you should know how to fall to the ground without dropping the ball.
And he's had tons of fumbles this year. I think he's had like 6 lost fumbles.
Yeah. So it's not just the fumbles; it's lost fumbles, right? So it's like
and like I said, only one game where he's broken 100 yards this year.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of things that aren't Mike McCarthy's fault, but the play calling is just
that's everything. Yeah, so even if they've lost some linemen, Obviously, they lost Dak Prescott. There's things that are out of his control, but at the end of the day, just kind of like with FSU and Willie Taggart, like at the end of the day, like you're the one calling the plays, and like
I
watched
last year Willie Taggart, the game where Florida State lost to Boise State, and at the end of the game, there were like 3 consecutive, just like undisciplined, unnecessary penalties that Florida State took.
Yeah,
and then a week later, I watched Florida State was on again, and you saw the same undisciplined, just unnecessary mistakes.
Yeah, that's what really gets me, because when I was at FSU, I can't remember who the defense coordinator, it must have been under Jimbo Fisher, but the offensive coordinator, but our linemen, if there was ever a defensive offsides, the offensive line didn't move. Like if they would let the play just to make sure that the refs didn't think that it was the FSU lineman that caused the defensive to come over. And so, but on occasion, it happened at least once. The defensive linemen are chasing FSU's quarterback, and his offensive line is still in position, like they haven't even snapped the ball or anything. And so, I mean, that was, but so a whole play, like the quarterback's running around about to get killed by a whole defensive line, and the offensive line never moved. And just, to go from that to then seeing just stupid penalties. Well, just kind of like with Dallas today, just like, what was it, 4th and 1 or 4th and 6 or something. And they didn't went for it, but it was Nathan's pass interference.
With Taggart, I always had a bitter taste in my mouth what he did to Oregon. And I guess Oregon actually lucked out.
Yeah, well, talk about failing upwards. And I heard that Willie Taggart has an interview with South Carolina now. I mean, because Willie was at USF, and then he was there for what, a year, right? Maybe
a year or two.
And then he went to Oregon. He said Oregon was like a dream job and all that stuff, or he was so happy about it.
I have no. I understand if you want to go up from a mid-level school to a Power 5 school.
Yeah, makes sense. That's what you're doing there. I mean, obviously, you're a collegiate coach. That's what you want to do.
I kind of have a jaundiced view when someone goes from Power 5 to Power 5.
Mm-hmm. Like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So like you're not a big Lane Kiffin fan leaving Tennessee to go to USC. Or Tennessee to go to USC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember they named the streets and buildings named after all the coaches at Tennessee. Even Lane Kiffin.
Oh, nope. Even Lane Kiffin.
Yeah. You know what they named after him?
What?
The waste disposal facility.
They'll get you back once you leave. I mean, the university they've got years to come back at you. But yeah, well, that's I tell you,
yes, and of course the NCAA is such a total joke. They a coach recruits them, tells them you got to be loyal, you got to be hardworking, and then the next minute he says, "See ya," and this happens in college basketball too.
Yeah,
and that player can't transfer.
And I think that's changing. Just like with everything else, like I think things that were going to happen eventually, COVID kind of just pushed it forward and made it happen sooner. The same thing with like working remotely. I think we were headed in that direction anyway. Corporations don't want to spend all this money on rent and utilities and everything. When they can have their employees sitting at home on their own internet. On their own laptop, paying their own utilities. I think it's the same thing. I think that with the transfer portal and all that, I think the eligibility is going to change. But who knows if there's even going to be like serious college football or what it'll look like in 5 years, especially now with like the licensing and everything like that.
The NCAA is about to get thrown into just chaos.
Yeah.
It's long overdue.
Is there a reason for them to be? I mean, obviously, I guess there has to still be some kind of organization, right? I mean, are they kind of becoming obsolete?
It's long overdue.
Yeah,
that the NCAA gets a major shakeup.
Yeah, I mean, what's their purpose? I mean, if they're not really, yeah, I mean, besides an organizational structure, just to like, connect everyone, is there really a purpose for them?
No.
Yeah. So there you go.
And college football has always had that like that delicate balance with the NCAA.
Yeah.
Where a lot of schools basically tell the NCAA to go stick it.
Yeah. Well, I remember it was 2004, 2005 when the NCAA started coming after universities that had mascots or symbols with Native American heritage, and they came after FSU, and the Florida State tribe of Seminoles like sent them a letter saying, "Hey, like he's with us," and they said because you could still perform, you could still play in games and everything, but they weren't going to allow you to play in post game seasons, so you couldn't play in a bowl game. That's why I think the Illinois changed like the orange; they were fighting Illini, but FSU had the actual, they still do the tribe of Florida State Seminole tribe.
Well, the Seminoles actually embrace the whole Chief Osceola.
Yeah, and that's why it's so like when the NCAA said, "Hey, you can't do that," it was kind of like the tribe was kind of like, "Yeah, they can do that."
Well, Illinois is actually still the Illini. The only thing is they had to get rid of their mascot and they had to get rid of the that dance.
Yeah, that's was it Illini? Chief Illini, or was it Illinois or whatever? Yeah, I saw a thing on it. That's because that started out as just some guy dressing up like a Native American and doing some made up dance on a basketball court.
Yes, the Illinois is actually named after the tribe, so they have. I mean,
that's different than like, oh, Osceola is actually a real person. Renegade was, that's real. But anyway, yeah, just a delicate balance. But yeah, who knows if the NCAA will still be around in a couple of years? I'm sure there's a lot of student athletes that wish they weren't. But what about this?
I remember 1986. Brian Bosworth got suspended from the Orange Bowl because of a positive steroid test.
Really?
And he came out for the coin flip wearing a T-shirt that said "National Communist Against Athletes."
And that was the 80s?
Yep.
Yeah. So we back then Americans didn't like communism.
and he wore the shirt NCAA, National Communist Against Athletes.
Yeah. I think I saw I might have I think they did something like that with the hammer. It was the NCAA, but it was like in like Russian and had the hammer and sickle in 2004. But yeah, I don't know if I've heard of any major collegiate athletes, getting steroid. I guess was it not Trask? Who was the UF quarterback that
I think it was steroids that he was suspended for. He got suspended, and wasn't allowed to play in the bowl game.
Yeah, and then he ended up going to Michigan or something. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, here it is.
Was it Franks? Felipe Franks? No.
But
it was something. Yeah, well, that's my sister was a diver at FSU, and she said like that's like one of the first things they tell you is like if you're taking supplements of any kind or anything like that, you need to run it by the athletic department first, and that was the major issue because if you don't do that and then you come out and say, oh well, because I think his excuse was he was taking some like medication or he had something that he was taking from CVS and it had this ingredient in it, so he blamed it on that. But if you don't run that by the athletic department, like they have no reason to back you up. Like you're screwed.
And what was here it is. Yeah, I actually found a picture of it on the internet, and it even said at the bottom of it was "Welcome to Russia."
Oh, the shirt.
Yep. And Bosworth went right to that was actually the end of his career at Oklahoma. He ended up going to the Seahawks, and the NFL thoroughly put him in the steroid program, and of course he ended up being a big bust. His signature moment in the NFL was riding on Bo Jackson for free.
Yeah, that's what was it? Don't mess with the Boz. Was that his thing?
Yeah, well, yeah, he came in the league. He had like he had the weird hairdos, the mohawk, the color on the side of his
and
head.
He had like
and
was it something he like shaved into the hair?
yeah.
Yeah, like a real like riff-raff kind of, the rapper riff-raff, like that kind of thing going on.
And he ended up just when Bo Jackson ran him over, that just blew up his career. His career was over at that moment.
Yeah.
And then he went to try to become an actor, and of course that didn't work out.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in anything.
He was in a movie that was called Stone Cold.
Was it good?
No. But the thing about Stone Cold is, I don't know if you're a wrestling guy or were a wrestling guy. I was a wrestling guy.
Yeah, I like
ago.
wrestling.
I haven't watched wrestling much in the last 20 years. Since about 2002, I stopped watching regularly.
That was probably when I stopped watching regularly. I still watch occasionally, and I have a lot of friends who are into it, but I'm not a avid like Thursday night or Friday night SmackDown kind of person.
And the movie Stone Cold was playing on cable when Steve Austin decided to change his name to Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, really? That's how he got it?
Yep.
Nice. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, that's I did watch something about how he got his Austin 316, because I can't remember who he was wrestling, but it was something like, the character, the wrestler he was wrestling was like a Bible thumping kind of guy. So he said John 316.
Jake
no,
the
Austin
Snake Roberts. Jake the Snake Roberts.
Was it Jake the Snake?
Jake the Snake.
Oh, okay. I didn't think it was him. But yeah, no, I'm about wrestling. I think I can't say for sure, but based on the hints that Brandon Walker was giving out in his post, I think he's going to start a wrestling podcast. I mean, there's quite a few people. Him, Robbie. There's quite a few people that are all about wrestling, and again, I'm a fan of wrestling, but I'm not an avid junkie or anything. I definitely don't have the knowledge that he has on like the.
By the way, this is I just put into the comments over here a link to that picture.
Okay.
First that I'm talking about with Bosworth.
All right. So this is all right. So that'll show up in there. Oh, okay. Let me see here. I wonder if this will bring it up. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's spelled out. Got it.
The picture. We could insert the picture in somehow.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I think if you put it in the comments instead of the private chat. I'm not sure if
live viewer no, this is live viewer comments.
Okay. Yeah, I'm saying if you put it in there.
There's no place to even put it there.
Down on the bottom.
Let me see.
If you put it in there, because that's what they do. We're not, we'll
figure it out one of these days.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm not. We're using StreamYard. A lot of the people do, but they have producers that they can click on the comment and show it on the main video and everything. But all right, well let's talk about this. So we're gonna play Putt Putt tomorrow, right?
Yep, we're gonna hit the links. It's gonna be a nice day. 1 o'clock. We're gonna hit Willowbrook again.
Okay, we're gonna do the bear this time.
Yeah, we'll do the bear.
Okay, cool. And you have a new putter, right?
I have 2 new putters.
You have 2 new putters. What happened?
Yes.
How'd you get 2 new ones?
I brought one, and then Will found one for me.
Okay, cool. All right. So we'll go ahead and play. We'll play Willowbrook again tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Should be a nice day. That's I'm glad I came up early.
When you get a 61-degree day, and even today, that's why you could hear the dog barking. My windows are open because it's so nice out today.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. Shout out to the Jumbo Shrimp Firm. They were. I tweeted out. It was like 34 degrees last time I was here. So they sent me a nice little beanie. So I got the hat. So if it's warm, I can wear the hat. If it's cold, I'll wear the beanie. But yeah, cool. All right. Well, we'll play that tomorrow. How was your Thanksgiving? You had Thanksgiving with your uncle, right?
Yes, I did. Woke up, made all the turkey and all the stuffing, the mashed potatoes, the candy yams. Of course, I got the corn out of the can and the and the jellied cranberry sauce. But
Mm-hmm. Did you have any of the Thanksgiving candy corn?
I supplied that.
Yeah. That's I saw the lower in the bar. I love you. You walking up and you scare the hell out of some people up there. I like. Were you just like off to the side waiting for them to like?
Yeah.
Like waiting. Okay. Because they all seem very surprised.
Yeah. Well, at random times I would start like walking around doing a turkey dance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Flapping my wings.
I think Tommy might legitimately be afraid of you.
Of course, I had my turkey hat.
Oh yeah,
which I got right here.
That's fantastic. And then, so your uncle, does he live in town? Did he travel to see you?
No, he lives across the town on the same town.
Okay. And I heard you. I was listening to the Dave Portnoy show on the way here. On the way back, you said that your parents might be moving back into the city.
Eventually, if the only problem is my father just can't stop watching TV.
Yeah, you were talking about how he watches Judge Judy.
Yeah, at times I think the only way that they'll ever actually get the move going is if Judge Judy puts on a red blazer and says, "Okay, let me show you some house."
Is that now the red blazer? Is that a New Jersey thing for realtors up there?
There used to be a commercial that used to have people wearing red blazers. I think it might have been Century 21 or something like that.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Well, that'll be cool. So, and if they move back, you might end up either way. Even if they don't move back, you're moving out of your apartment, right?
I can't take another year here.
Yeah. Where are you gonna stay in the same area, just different apartment building, or thinking about moving into the city? What are you gonna do?
I'm not gonna move into the city. I'm not moving into the city.
No.
But somewhere in New Jersey.
Okay. So just out of that apartment complex.
Yeah, something better.
Yeah.
The fact that I'm playing, I don't even have a real kitchen. My kitchen consists of a floor, a sink, an oven, and a refrigerator.
Yeah. And it's like right there in your living room.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
I want space.
Yeah. Hey, we're big guys. We need a lot of space. And
this place just is not. I just can't fit in this place anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're getting so many packages. You're unboxing so many things. You need a whole wall for that merino.
Yeah, I need a whole fucking wall for the merino thing, and I don't really feel comfortable putting it on this wall because it might fucking fall. I can't keep my I've tried to put up my diploma from college, and it keeps fucking falling.
Really?
Yeah.
Just not good walls.
I don't know. The walls are starting to crumble. Anyway. The ceiling's crumbling.
Just everything.
I sleep at night with the Chinese water torture, the water going.
Oh, really?
And I get up and I try to tighten the faucet in the bathroom, and I still hear. Bloop, 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 bloop,
we got to get you out of there, Frank.
Bloop. And it's $1,400 a fucking month for this shit.
Really?
There's got to be something better.
Yeah, I would hope so. I'm definitely gonna. I'm sure it'll be a little bit of culture shock for me, or as far as like cost of living when I'm moving up here, because I have a house right now, and my mortgage is like $525 a month. It's a 2.2.
Oh my god!
It's a 2.2. It's not like a huge house or anything. It's only like 1,200 square feet or something like that. 1,100, but it's just a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It's one of those houses split down the middle. But my mortgage is like just over $500, and that includes taxes and insurance. And I'm like building equity. And so when I get out of here.
I gotta get out of here.
Well, that's the last time I was up here. People were like, "Oh yeah, you can get like a real good deal, like a 1-bedroom for $2,000." And I'm like, it just doesn't compute in my head right now. Once I move up here, I'm sure it'll change, and I'll have a different understanding or grasp.
I mean, I'll start looking maybe out in different areas of New Jersey. Fort Lee, Lyndhurst, Kearney, North Arlington,
and so it's not too far out, right? It's like still in this general area.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
Just gotta get out of here.
Well, I'll be moving up in a few months, but well, I tell you what, you won't be home for a while, or at least on the weekends when our tour starts.
Yeah,
we're gonna start that. I mean, I imagine it'll start in February.
Well, we have
March.
to. We'll figure out what days to do it.
Oh, of course, yeah. But I'm saying, like, once the tour starts, we're going to be doing it. Every weekend.
Because on Saturdays, I typically in baseball season I'm at Met games, so we'll have to schedule around that.
Oh yeah, well yeah, we can't miss any Mets games.
I mean,
not this season, right?
I had the whatchamacall, because I'm a Saturday plan holder. I had this.
Nice. And they
hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my right-hand girl. Yeah, I had this sitting right by one of the Mets on deck circle.
Yeah. So every time they came up to bat, they saw you.
Yep, and if the camera focused down the third base line, you'd see that. You see this picture.
2020 is a crazy year, man.
And of course, the Mets were able to send it back to me. So I got I got myself here. I mean, a lot of people lose themselves, but I got myself right here. Yeah,
Frank, you should probably auction that thing off. I bet you can make a lot of money.
I'm thinking about doing something like that. I just
really
don't know what to do with it yet.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of Frankettes or I don't. What do you have? What's your fan club called? I know there's a
Tanks Army.
Tanks Army. Okay, that works. Yep. I know the Frankettes are Nick and
that's
Nick
the trivia team.
Yeah,
trivia team.
Well, that'd be pretty cool. I'm sure a lot of people would be interested in that little auction to get Frank's cutout.
I'll think of something eventually.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, I tell you what, I'm happy I came up here. I was able to. I'm glad I was able to come up here early. I was able to get into Pennsylvania and make that bet. So I'm hopefully I haven't looked. I think the college game the Utah State's game is going on right now. Hopefully it goes into the overs, and hopefully I will get one of those gobble jackets.
Those gobble jackets do look sweet.
It's a nice over club jacket with a huge turkey on a helmet. It's if the Dolphins were turkeys, that would be the ultimate logo for them. I still think they need to bring back the old Dolphins logo.
So do I. I really don't like the Dolphin logo.
It's just it's bland. It's basic, and as a Jaguar fan, I can't really say too much, but a dolphin jumping like on the sunrise wearing a helmet, like that's a great logo.
It was a terrific logo. Never needed to be changed. Is that game actually on TV?
The Utah State one.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in halftime.
Oh yeah, what's the score?
I don't know.
Well, I think they only have to score like 20 or 30 points, so it's not.
Well, the Cowboys certainly helped that out with their dumpster fire plays at the end of that game.
Well, when they didn't get in when they got the interception but didn't get in the end zone and they had to settle for the field goal, I was like, come on. But then the very next series or like the very next series, Dalton just kind of like tossed it to him.
I mean, I've actually had okay. This isn't too high scoring so far. It's 13-6 at the half.
It's on target. I guess it might be on track.
It's on track. You had 66 in the. You had two teams score 41 before you. That's got to help.
Yeah, because I think the over was like 145 or 154.
So it was 66 plus 57. That's 123. So now you're at.
Either way, we need like 15 more points, 15, 20 more points.
So let me see. What is that? They're at 19. So 123, 142. You need 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. So I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch, but
you need 2 touchdowns.
I'm really hoping, but yeah. So I made the trip up early so that I could make that bet, and then and not be I'm going to be here for the weekend and everything, and I didn't want to travel. I didn't want to travel to Newark where with everyone else coming back from Thanksgiving on Friday or not. But
by the way, do you know the Steelers-Raven game could be one of the worst games ever played on Sunday?
Yeah, it got delayed till tomorrow night and
Sunday night, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon.
or yeah. And so, do you think they're going to play it? You don't? Do you think they won't have any more issues?
They have more issues.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you've heard what the new issue is.
No, what happened?
Lamar Jackson's now got COVID.
Does he?
Yep.
I think I just heard Nick Saban got COVID again, or I guess he got it officially this time. I mean, we knew this was going to happen, right? I mean, like coming into the winter, like it was going to happen. But I mean, if I was, obviously we're not in the best of shape, but for the most part, I think if you're an athlete, and you're taking your vitamins and saying your prayers, I don't, being a true American, I don't think you're going to have any issues, but. It is what it is. Well, hopefully I'll get that jacket. I appreciate you lending me your own jacket. I tell you what, even though it's warm in the office, in this cave, it is freezing. Huh. And I don't mind. I don't mind at all. I've got your jacket, so thank you for that. We'll play some golf tomorrow, and we'll try not to.
Well, you could hold on to the jacket as long as you need it.
I appreciate that. Well, I tell you what, if I win this jacket, if I get this gobble, and it doesn't come in a unit size, we're gonna have problems. I'm gonna because I know where Big Cat works and I know where Dave works, and I'm just gonna stay in the office until I see him. Like we're gonna get that gobble jacket in a unit size.
Well, we wish we did have more stuff in unit sizes, but we got the Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales going. So if you're a big Barstool guy, you don't even have to go. You don't even have to bother the malls tomorrow. I mean, the malls are going to be murder tomorrow. Murder.
Yeah. I wouldn't even bother with it.
I used to do Black Friday. I don't do Black Friday anymore.
Especially with everything being online, it's so simple just to buy it online. Like it's like, drive around and.
I mean, I really used to do Black Friday, and I did it almost like an event. But
yeah.
We got the entire store 20% off. I mean, what more could you want?
Yeah, and we have our Barstool unit shirt up to 6XL. I think a couple of I got them to do the Peace, Love, and Doug's sweater. It was only up to 3XL, and I'm not sure what triggers them to like put certain things in certain sizes, but I asked, I was like, hey, can we get this in larger size? And they did. The apparel people they're amazing, and they said, yeah, we can get up to 6XL. Like, it's a Doug sweater, let's get it up to 6XL, and they got it. So got a lot of unit gear coming out too, but yeah,
I mean, my picks have been just biting it lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually took the Cowboys in that game today.
Yeah, I would not like it. Yeah, with Cowboys versus the football team. No, I like that's a perfect example of a game where I'll take the over. I'll bet the over, but I just don't feel confident in either of those teams. I wouldn't feel confident in the pick.
I just don't understand I don't understand what the Cowboys are doing today.
I mean. Do the Cowboys know what they're doing?
I don't. I honestly don't.
Y'all might be on the same page. Well, I tell you what, we're going to play golf tomorrow. We've got the units gear, and I'm going to be here for the weekend and Cyber Monday and all that. And we have a guest coming up. We're going to be doing a unit of the week, and so we have a special guest. Some people pointed him out at the Jaguar game. He's a Steelers fan, but he was at the Jaguar game last week, and he is a unit. I've been in contact with him.
I've seen him. When are we going to get this? When's our next show going to be?
It's going to be next week sometime. Once we figure that out, I've made contact with him, and he's all on board. So we'll have him on as our first.
That sounds terrific.
Yeah, he'll be our first unit of the week, and we'll get going. And I promise from now on, I will hit record before I bring you on the show, so we won't lose anything from now on.
All right.
All right. So that's episode 2, Barstool units. Frank, again, I apologize. This is a learning lesson for both of us. Go ahead and take us out.
All right. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Don't go too crazy with the stores, Chimo. I mean, it's better just to sit home and find good stuff. I mean, you want to help the local people, but people lose their fucking minds on Black Friday. But be a unit, get the unit shirt.
There we go. Be a unit, get the unit shirt. Wise words, Frank. Thank you very much. That's Barstool Units. See you guys next time.
All right.